Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Tuesday, July 26th. Yes, it is. And I hope it is Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy Vet, Certified Doer, and your laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 89th District. It's good to see you. This morning, we've got a lot going on, to be quite honest. So we'll try to get to it and let you guys roll in. So grateful to still be on the other side of the day. As my friend would say, 10 toes down. You 10 toes down today? If you're not 10 toes down, hopefully that chest is still rising and falling. So I'm going to get into the just our announcements this week. We will be having our first fundraiser on Wednesday. It's on our website. So if you go to Delegate Jackie Glass, and that is where you can find all the information about the two events that we have this week. The most important event that we have this week is our town hall. Now, our town hall is going to be on Thursday. Don't give me the line. Thursday at 5:30. So both of them are at 5:30. One is on Tuesday. One is on Tuesday. One is on Wednesday. One is on Wednesday. One is on Thursday. It's early for me. We've had some late nights, y'all. Some late nights here. So, but I put that in the chat box because I definitely, if I don't see you at the fundraiser, I would definitely love to see you on Thursday night at Freemason Baptist Church for our town hall. That is going to be where we do the debrief about our session and then also get questions and comments and concerns for you. So even if you're not able to come, I encourage you to go ahead and invite 2 or 3 other people out to the town hall. What I think folks, I'm trying to get folks to understand is, we are charged with being representative of over 80,000 people. And there are lots of civic leagues. However, we all have to do a really good job of helping those civic leagues grow. Some civic leagues aren't very big, and what we're trying to do is avail ourselves to the most people possible at the current time. So it's really important that we that we put ourselves in a position of being able to be of service to as many people as possible. Good morning. Can you guys let me know, make sure the feed is okay? I keep getting little glitches. I'm just making sure you can see and hear me very, very well. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pause for a second. All right. So getting into our morning, yep, you can hear me very well. We're good to go. It's choppy. Okay, let me do this. Okay, got it. I'm gonna close down some of the things that we have going on just to get this thing rolling right. Okay. So let me roll through these things so that I can start closing some stuff down, because it's glitchy. Yeah, I think so too. Here's what I think I'm gonna do. Oh, Miss Charlene, you're still in Norfolk General? No way. We can't have that. Let me check this setting, because I see exactly what the issue is. Give me 1 second, y'all, and let's get this connection together. Thank you for hanging in there with us. Boom. Is this better? Is this less choppy? feel like this is better. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the things that we need to discuss this morning. So first off, our events, right? Those things are super important. First off, our vice president came to Virginia. Don't know if some of you guys know this, but she came here on Saturday. It was very abrupt, so I want to thank the summer school folks who were able to flex with us and shake and move, because I had to cancel summer school on Saturday in order to be able to show up and be at the and be in Richmond. Yep. Thank you. Much better, right? I had to cancel summer school. So what is going to happen? If you wanted to come to summer school, week 2 of summer school, we will be having summer school on Saturday, same time. I think it's 9 to 11 on Saturday. We'll be doing our summer school, the one from last Saturday. So we'll be doing the lobbying the bill portion of work. So I don't want you guys to miss out on that, because guys, we did a lot of homework. If you were in summer school on Thursday night, you were in school. We was working hard. So anyway, summer school was canceled because Madam Vice President came to Richmond to visit the legislators, which was a very intentional visit. She met with about 20 of the legislators on Saturday morning. We were in Henrico County, and the topic of that conversation was, how do we fight the protection of abortion rights in our state? And because the policy right now is super unclear. Now, she was very, very clear about what it is that the federal government is doing and what they're not doing and what they're trying to do. It's really important, and I'm going to couple these two things that I was going to talk about together. It's really important to realize next year's biggest challenge, no matter what the topic is, the biggest challenge next year is going to be the fact that we do have an executive branch that is willing to govern through the budget. So like we saw with the earned sentencing credits, and I don't know if I'll give you guys a little bit of backstory, is that we expanded people's ability to get earned sentencing credits, meaning when they do the right things, they get access to the programs while they're incarcerated. If they do the right things, they get that time off and they get their time to be able to come home. This legislation passed through the entire executive branch, passed through the first round with the governor. But when we came back, what he did was he put in the budget. It passed through everything, and once we got down to the budget, remember we said the budget is a bill. We were working on the budget. In the budget, he changed the law. He legislated through the budget, and a lot of folks were not able to come home when they thought they were coming home, thought we were in the clear. It passed through the House, passed through the Senate, passed through the governor, and then here he comes inside of the budget making legislation, and that's gross. I don't care who does it. Like, historically, I think both sides have done it. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's not the right thing to do. It's not the way we legislate. We don't legislate through the budget. We do that with bills. That's why there's an introduction. There's a process. So he circumvented that process and legislated a lot of things in the budget. And if he's willing to do it with something like earned sentencing credits, then he'll do it with anything else, right? Like, it just doesn't. We don't know what we can think is in the clear, and then all of a sudden, the president. I'm saying president because that's all we keep saying is that he's running for president. Then the executive branch could come in and be like, nah, we're going to put something in the budget that shifts everything. And that's not scary to me, but it's something to be very attentive to. So what the vice president actually said to us is, hey, they're doing these tours state by state, and what she said is they're going to states and asking them, what's working with access to reproductive care and women's health care, what messages, because I'm gonna tell you, I've been on the phones calling, asking for money, because we want to win, right? We want to win, we want to hire people, we want to be in the community. The less time I have to spend asking for money, the more time I can spend in the community. And as I'm talking to people, Their biggest thing is you Democrats need to get your messaging together. The way you do this, I've heard it so many times. And it's enough to know that the way we're communicating things is not resonating and not working with the general public. That's just it. Once, twice, three times, I'm telling you, I believe that's it. And you guys can let me know in your frustrations with the messaging, because it's something that, like, the only way we get better at it is by having conversations with you all and saying, you know, like, help. We need help. It's not afraid to be in the room and say, like, what we're doing collectively is not working. The Virginians want something different, because this is going to be about what our state does and does not do. There's a task force that they have, you know, sort of helping states get their messaging together, and that's genuinely what she's trying to do. And they're working on getting pro bono lawyers for, like, a listing of pro bono lawyers for not only folks that have it, you know, run into problems with hospitals and things like that, but for doctors that may need lawyers, because we are at a time where it's really tough for doctors to make healthcare decisions with with pregnant people, and it's really tough for pregnant folks to go to the doctor. You know, it's we've already seen someone. I've actually already had a constituent, and I'm not saying constituent. They're not my constituent, but they were brought to me. Have an issue in the ER with a miscarriage. So, like, it's real. What's happening is real, even though access to abortion is still here in the Commonwealth. The paradigm around it, people's thought process is a lot of fear. Don't nobody want to get in trouble. Don't nobody want to get locked up. Don't nobody want to lose their, no one wants to lose their, they don't want to lose their license. So we got to get this messaging right. And I think that maybe, you guys tell me, I think that we should have a town hall, like a straight up, like, where we just talk to the public on messaging, where we just do these general, like, message the I don't know, I'm thinking on it, whatever that looks like. So there's that. That's what she came to town. She gave resources. She talked about what they're doing, and passed the mic to us on, like, helping them help states across the country, because it's getting real. It's already real, right? So Vice President comes, right, and that's a big deal. And speaking of, like, hospitals, right? I thought I had it here. And I talked about transparency in the budget, but a big piece of this is folks are not only going to the hospital for their maternal care, but for care, period. And I don't know if you all know this, right? We are at a time where, hold on, this is killing me, where the federal government just passed legislation, federal and state law in Virginia are requiring hospitals to publish their prices. But that can be hard for many people to interpret. A friend of mine who I just ran into the other day, she is a part of the new Centera group that is going to be helping people understand how much things cost, and also giving them the resources if they don't have health care. So there are some things on the healthcare side that we are transitioning to that are a big plus, right? Where we're trying to get transparency in medical costs, and we're trying to make sure that doctors are able to make decisions with their patients. But we still have to be aware of all the possibilities that stand in front of us as we walk ourselves to several things. The end of the year, there is an election. I'm telling y'all this, like, if you ain't told a friend, we do have an election in November for our for congressional candidates, right? And for us here in Norfolk, we also have local elections for city council and for city council and for school board. So it's a big deal. But there's a lot of threats right now to elections, and that, when I say that is real, that is super real. what we're finding is that, like, one, there's already a plan set up, and I don't know if you guys saw this earlier. There's already these plans set up for people to, no matter what, contest elections, and getting folks embedded in the system that could be a threat to how election operations work. You know, sometimes I get a little naive too, and I'm like, we're not going to have that here in Norfolk. We don't really have those sorts of we don't really have those kind of things. But as people get emboldened, it's really important to recognize that threat stands no matter where you are. So here's my ask: if you have not already made plans for Election Day, I'm asking you to consider, becoming an Election Day official, right? We need more of them. I will keep saying this, as our elders who used to do these sorts of things have either stopped doing it, right? It's just like the boomers that have left the workforce and ain't coming back. Some of them are not able to do this. It's just, it's not safe sometimes. BA5, that's COVID, the new standard of COVID. I am telling you, I've got several folks I know that have gotten this COVID and are working out the still dealing with the side effects of that. We are still not in the most certain of time. So I ask, if you are 10 toes down and have the time, put your PTO in, apply to be an Election Day worker, because we are going to need it. Please send your love out to our registrar who lost a family member this past week. So, like, getting some things together is going to be, a little bit of probably slower moving, but go to Norfolk's, and I'm going to try to put it in the chat, Department of Elections for Norfolk, and sign up, right? Call, like, we need you. I don't even know any other way to put that, is that there's folks that's been doing this for years, and now it's time for some of us to step up and work these elections, right? I'll put that in the chat for you, okay? Yeah, and there's a paper shortage, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this, but they were talking about this problem with the fact that more people are voting by mail. That means that we're requiring more paper, and so there's a huge crunch with paper right now. The paper supply, they said, is right now the leanest as it's ever been, and it's probably not something that's going to be solved before 2020 or 2024 elections. So I know a lot of elected officials specifically said that they're worried about the difficulty time that they're going to have with reprinting ballots, because paper goods are not readily available. But state election law sometimes changes leading up to, and so we're hoping that everything works out really well for us, and we don't have too much to be concerned with. Hold on, I'm looking and seeing. Yes, I would love to know. Put in the comments, what's the number one topic on your bird this morning? What are you most concerned with what we have coming up? Am I going to see you this week? Will I see you at the fundraiser or at our town hall this week? Let me know in the comments as I sort of review, make sure I've gotten everything that we needed to get across to you guys. Unfortunately, I don't know if some things that we're going to be looking towards for next year is recognizing that right now 9 Norfolk neighborhoods have incarceration rates of more than twice as high as the city's incarceration rate. Like, that's real. 9 neighborhoods, and I bet something's got to give. Something has to give, and I think the story broke this weekend, and it talks about the more residents from Norfolk were incarcerated in 2022 than any other Virginia city. So what it means is, we locking folks up. And the Disparity report said that the disparity in the poor is generally caused by over policing and under investing in communities. There's a level of commitment that, and I would love, what I will do is I'll share the link, copy this tab, to the report, not just the article, incarceration rates. And I know we need money, right? Like I say, I know that there's never going to be enough. There's never going to be enough, but we do have to have a shift in attitudes about how we invest. Let me get this for you. Copy for you all. And are you able to see me still? Because I don't see anybody in the chat. There we go. Yeah, it's where we fund our resources as a city. Absolutely. And so part of my job now as a state legislator is to understand the issues that are plaguing our city while working at the state level to help fund, fix, and fund and fix those issues, right? Whether it's through legislation or the budget process, or it's through bringing in public-private partnerships. Like, that's the role that I have. But I personally am not able to just I cannot tell the city what to do. That's real, right? I'll say this, as and I would say it even no matter what. I've said it about myself. I'll say it about any other elected office. If you don't like what you see happening, then you've got to vote. And I talked to you guys, in summer school, we talked about the gravity of our vote, and we talked about you just wrote in the chat priorities. If you can't get the people in front of you to shift their priorities, you find the people whose priorities are aligned. Doesn't matter whether it's a state delegate, it's a city council, it's a school board. That is where the power lies. And I haven't heard a lot of talks about our council races or our school board races. And I'm not on the ballot again until next year, but that's real. We can't, collectively, we give them the opportunity to say F you to our face. So that means that if these things are really important priorities, we've got to galvanize the support, because I'm still a resident too, right? We galvanize the support on the issues that matter most to us. And again, when people say, give me the middle finger to my face, I recognize I have to course correct and find another path or mow right through it. Right, so that is not if you take a look at the maps, and I'll put the Virginian pilot article here about Norfolk and it kind of got buried, this story, a little bit for you to be able to read, but yeah, it was a tough read on there. Dale says yes, yeah, we've got a long way to go, man, and I hate to say it, but it's not going to be easy, but we got to be here for the long haul. We got to be in it for the long haul, right? Making sure unemployment is down. Y'all don't let nobody lie to you and say that it's just us young folks that don't want to go back to work. Remember, I said they're forgetting that there are our elders who left the workplace who are not returning, right? That is not accounted in unemployment, but that missing job is. So just keep at it. I know several organizations, if you know anybody looking for work, looking to change skill sets, there's some, been getting some resources from some state level entities just saying, hey, we're looking for people in maritime construction. The airlines are looking for people. There's some really great opportunities for folks to get engaged, get involved, and get a new outcome on life. You said, so the statement Ben says they're bearing. That's the point. Can we get a preferred news sources again, ma'am? Yes. Okay. Yep. So preferred news sources, right? Part of how I'm able to stay abreast is just having access to quality news. So there's some money flying over, y'all. Let that money pass. Okay, so I like the Virginia Mercury, and I'll put their Virginia Mercury is a good one, right? Virginia Mercury is really great at comprehensively putting things together. They have really great. I love investigative journalism. They're the ones who broke the story about our housing authority and did all the digging there, and have done some really amazing stories just on our city as a whole. It's really a great source of whole news, statewide as well as within our city. It has a really good view. So that's one news source that I would recommend for you all. Also, The Currents. Now, The Currents is a newspaper ran by a local guy who just really cares about civic engagement. His name's Paul Rice. Really deserves the flowers of trying to get us news right in our doorstep, and get us news that come from that is relative to our neighborhood. So Norfolk Currents, I don't think he's launched, and I'll have to ask him or find out. Norfolk Currents is an online newsletter, right? It is there we go, NFK Currents. So it's what's flowing in Norfolk. I love that. You sign up, go to the website, sign up, get the latest of what's going on, and I'm gonna put the web address there. It's like a newsletter. So if you go sign up for his newsletter, you need to go to my website and sign up for our newsletter too. You want to stay abreast of what we got going on, do the same there. But like Virginia Mercury, they broke the story on, I think they were the first one. I think I saw them as the first ones to report on the casino address stuff. They have all the good happenings going on, all the current things that are happening, and then they, celebrate a lot of different folks. So, and they got merch too. So, very good page to find out what's going on in our space and place, and then opportunities that are happening throughout the city. I appreciate those sources, and I can't remember what other one I had, but those two are a good start. Those are good sources, good starts. And I saw a comment there before I go here. I will say that Philip Hawkins Jr. for Ward 4 is working hard to be on council and make a difference. Yeah, I've seen Philip around too. I've seen, Ward 4 is going to be an open seat. So I've seen the folks working. I've seen them out and about just trying to get it together and get votes and get to working. So it is Dogwood, my apologies. Thank you for being on top of it. Dogwood is another news source that I like to use to get information. So here's the dealio, right? We are in a position to do some really great things, but we do need help. So in the chat, in the description here, I put very many ways that you can help us as overall, right? You ask people like, Hacky, how can I help? How can I help? You got 3 ways you can help, right? 1, you can subscribe to our newsletter. That is very helpful, just because when we have information, just like I'm talking about Norfolk Currents and things like, and these other papers, when we have the good news, we need you to spread the good news. When we have the bad news, we need you to spread the bad news, because we probably need you to do something about it. So subscribe to the newsletter. 2, come to the different things that we're having in the community. We still have summer school. We have our town hall and fundraiser this week, all of which are on the website, right? Number 3, donate. I am telling you right now, the biggest struggle that I'm having as we get ready to sign off, the biggest struggle that I'm having is that I would love to spend less time fundraising and more time doing community work, period. Like, that's it. And what folks don't realize is that politicians spend a lot of time getting money to stay politicians. For better or for worse, it is a true reality. It is a fact of being. It's a fact, and it's a real fact that as a people-centered person, that I'm truly struggling with and truly trying to think of creative ways to fundraise in a way that allows me to still be of service and be present to my family and to my community. As I was talking to a fundraiser the other day, and I know that I have to raise about $100,000 by the end of the year. Because once I get in session, I cannot fundraise, right? While we're working on legislation, we're not allowed to fundraise. And right after I get us out of session, we'll start the jaunt that trail towards the November election, right? Or the June primary, depending on if I have a primary for the seat. And I said, okay, if I have to raise $100,000 by the end of the year, what does that take? What do I have to do? I'm not used to this, don't know much. And it's a 20-hour-a-week commitment. A 20-hour-a-week commitment to making phone calls. And I cannot tell you how much that breaks my heart, because I know some really amazing people that would be phenomenal legislators. That is a barrier to participation. Furthermore, right, we are living in a time where I have a small business. I dwindled that small business down to one client, and I'm getting ready to wrap up with that client, which means I'm going to need to take on another client or find another employment opportunity, deciding whether or not I want to continue, with having my small business and doing this, because I really invest a lot of time into my clients on the work that we do. And so I am at a point, real life, where, I have to think about how I'm going to contribute to my family, right? To the well-being of my family. And my neighbor, I told him the other day, he didn't realize this. He said, "A delegate, I thought you made like 500,000. No, I make a little over or a little under. I don't know the exact number offhand. There's a gentleman who put it in the chat the other day. I make about $17,000 as a delegate a year. And that's good, because it is a part-time job, right? The majority of the work is done at the top of the year. And what I invest in that, if it does not, for the time that we invest in it, is it equivalent? No, but like, I signed up knowing that this is a part-time job, recognizing that I would need another job in order to sustain being your state delegate. That is not a problem with me. The issue that I'm finding, that I'm struggling with, that I'm negotiating and really putting in my own chest and my own stomach and my own head and heart, is that I'll have my full-time job, which I'll probably, I'm working on deciding whether I want to just go back to being employed with someone, because that just works, rather than, having to hustle and bustle out with a client. I'll have the delegate job as another job. And then now, because I have to because I want to continue doing this job, I have to spend another 20 hours a week just asking people for money. And that is wild. But that is the commitment that a lot of folks do, and that is the push and the pull. And I've been kind of a brat about it. I'll just tell you, I've not, people have been like, "Jackie, you need to not have heartache over this and recognize that you're raising money to do good things for people." And I get it. So, wow, I talked a lot about that. 4 minutes over time. We were at time, and now we're 4 minutes over time. So what I'll say is I am going to need help. And I don't know what that looks like necessarily from the community. It's not just necessarily monetary. I was thinking about possibly putting together like a committee of people that want to help fundraise. You go call 10 people, you go call 10 people within your own networks. Getting 10 people to get 10 people to donate $10 or something, something like that. And so I use your creative capital. If you come up with anything to say, Jack, here's a good way to fundraise money and share the workload or help out so that we can do good work in the community and not make our whole lives just about getting money. Yes, you can raise money doing a brunch. Yeah, Denise doing a brunch. I like that idea. Yup, many hands make light work. But we'll get to it, because here's what I believe too, is what people also forget is that human capital is just as important as that dollar. And we work really hard at not letting anyone outwork us. Okay? Because we're certified doers. we get stuff done. All right. So good morning. I hope that you all are able to make today a great day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for getting up and get at it. Whatever today brings, may it be in light and love, and that the time that you put your head on the pillow, that you can be proud of the work that you did today, even if it was nothing, because you deserved it. All right? So Jackie Glassmouse, Navy vet, certified doer, your laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 89th District. I cannot wait to see you all on Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe even this weekend. I don't know what's going on. All right. Take care, y'all. Make it a great day. Be well. Let's get it.